See the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone. 'Cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Hello and welcome to the ESL Mobile Open Weekly Recap. We're bringing you Europe, Middle East and North Africa with not one, not two, but 5 of the top mobile esports around, each with their own rivalries, each with their own prize pools and with their own skill sets. My name is Banks and I'm your host, and joining me in the ESL virtual studio, it is D-Man.
Yes, thank you very much. It's great to be here. It's been a jam-packed week once again. You know, action all across all 5 games. And I don't really know where to look. We've tried to narrow it down as best we can, but there has been so much action this week.
Well, thank you so much for joining me once again, and we've had quite a bit of restructuring in the leaderboards this week, some of which may shock you viewers, so make sure you stick around for your favourite titles. But what is the ESL Mobile Open? I mean, at its core, it is an opportunity for players to play at a higher level and sometimes even against professional players in their given esport. So huge prize pools at the end of the road as well if you make it that far. And let's take a quick look at the format of the ESL Mobile Open.
Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles taking place in 3 regions and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play. Free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go.
D-Man and myself are going to be taking you through some of the best moments from the ESL Mobile Open throughout the week, and these tournaments really are heating up, so we're going to kick things off with Asphalt 9, a quick shot of adrenaline, D-Man.
Yeah, we're jumping straight into Nevada, where things all started off. Of course, we do have different competitions running on both Android and iOS platforms. So we're starting things off on the Android, and a well-known face, in all honesty. This is RPM Onio. He was the finalist, and I'm sad to say he was the finalist, not the winner of the winter series that we ran back in December for 2020, and he actually lost out in that final on the last corner. The very last corner. He was leading all the way and unfortunately lost out. Here we see him posting a time though in Nevada. And something to watch for is how they play out in this tunnel. This is something that I've spotted throughout the tournaments that we've covered for Asphalt 9, is just different styles. At the moment, you can see whether you either go right or left. If you're sticking to the left, you're generally going to be looking to see them doing a 360, build up that boost bar, and go as quick as they can.
It's also about choice of when you decide to use your nitro on this track in particular. So you saw where they were going through tunnel, when they decide to use that nitro in order to get that additional boost, whether they're going up that right side or cutting that left corner, like you said, and doing a 360. But great use of that ramp just there to get a shockwave nitro to give that additional boost before getting to the next ramp, D-Man.
Absolutely, hitting the shockwaves perfectly, hitting the ramps, hitting just about everything perfectly. You wouldn't expect anything less. This is, however, only the 3rd fastest time. It's a 1:22.087. As I say, only the 3rd fastest time here. We do see Sukti and Fufu. Sukti, obviously teammate of Onio, the RPM organization, been around for a long time, along with the pro guys throughout Asphalt's many iterations of the game. Obviously, we're on to Asphalt 9 Legends right now. Fufu, don't really know too much about him, but putting in a great time here overall, and really putting Sukti through the paces. This is what I was talking about though. We're going to approach into the tunnel, and it's a different line that Sukti will take here. He will look to go to the left edge and go for that spin. He's got absolute maximum boost up, uses it now, and you can see the difference, the boost bars. Here we go. So running a little low, which is why he has to go for that left hand side, and look at the boost bar difference between him and Fufu. Sukti can try and use as much as he can. He's going to be maximized, and that's what the smallest, and when I say smallest, I mean the very smallest difference when they're going to go over the line, because it will be a very close run thing, which is why we're looking at them neck and neck right now. Sukti once again maximizing that boost, Furfur maximizing that boost, both just slightly different, but again you see Sukti on the spin again, keeping everything going. So what he's doing every time, he's just maximizing it, and it builds up that smallest difference. And I can tell you the 2 different times, 122 flat for Furfur, but for Sukti a 121.956. It was 0.05 of a second faster.
0.004 in it for the Android users. I could not believe what I was watching. You got to see some of them taking the ramp. I think it was Furfur taking the ramp a little bit higher, but getting that airtime for a little bit longer, which can benefit a lot. But then by using that lower line from Sukti, he was managing to do the 360s and get that additional boost. So it depends on what your gameplay style is. But we're diving into iOS now. And first up, we've got the 3rd fastest from RPM Comet, who's absolutely flying and actually taking a different line on that right-hand side there, D-Man.
Yeah, and once again, the RPM guys, they're forever delivering at the top, really, of Asphalt 9. They have done for a very long time. A much cleaner approach there. I think if you remember back to Onio, his first track going over that bridge, he actually clipped the right-hand side of it. Not ideal, slowed him down a little bit. Now we're seeing, obviously, taking the left side tunnel, as they always will. Will he go left? Will he go right coming out of the tunnel? It's going to be the right-hand side, so we're not going to see him going for that spin to try and build up that boost bar. Instead, he's actually almost out of boost bar coming out of there, so very different line, and which is why we're seeing actually his time is quite a bit slower than Sukti's, who we just saw obviously topping out on the Android. It's over a second slower almost. So which is where we're seeing these. It's just the subtle differences, and you're only really going to know it when you look at your opposition. Of course, these guys, they don't get the chance to look at their opposition, look at the lines that you're taking. These are things that they're only going to learn when watching back and seeing exactly when and where they've gained or lost time.
That moment back there on the straight, that is when you want to be optimizing, using as much nitro as you can, and just that might have been the difference maker there. That third fastest time of 122.658. That difference, he could have been up there with the fastest time if he had enough boost going into that straight there, D-Man.
And now we have Rust Pro running alongside Adidate? Is he going for Adidas? I'm not too sure.
82.
Maybe Adidas. Maybe he's trying to give the sponsors a little plug there. I don't know. But either way, two very different races here. There is a second part between these two guys, and I'm going to leave it to you to decide who it is. And obviously, I won't give you any spoilers right now, but I think we're already seeing quite a difference in the replay where that time has been gained, because you can see Mr. Addy on the left is quite far ahead already in terms of time. So he's really gained a lot of that time, Banks, at the start of the track. That's where it was all gained, and again, hitting the 360. Oh, so close to messing that up and clipping the edge of the tunnel.
I think it goes right back to that beginning section over bridge. I think it's what you mentioned before, that actually RPM Sukti clipped the top edge of the bridge, and it actually keeps you in the air. The longer you can stay in the air, the fastest your time will be, because getting to use that nitro, the nitro bar will gain while you're in the air as well. But also managing to stay in the air means that you're not losing time on the ground, D-Man.
Yeah, incredible time though here from man Addy on the left here. You know, no spoilers, but you can see quite clearly how far ahead he is of Rust Pro. Bear in mind, Rust Pro is the second fastest. He actually ends on a 121.432. That is 5/10 faster than Sukti's fastest time on the Android, and a full second faster than Rust Pro's time. Incredible stuff. Clearly the fastest driver of the day.
I think it's very rare to see the split between first and second is a second. That is absolutely unbelievable. Cutting corners perfectly, choosing the optimal time to use this boost. An absolutely incredible display right there. It's great to see differences between players being that marginal, but a second is huge. But to keep updated with the progress between these shows with ESL Mobile Open, make sure you go !social in the chat, and then that will show you all of our socials that you need to follow. And even if you want to sign up, ! sign up in the chat as well. We'll guide you through all the steps you need to take on some of the best. So next up, we've got the second week of rounds from PUBG Mobile. Don't go anywhere.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
PUBG Mobile got off to a flying start in the ESL Mobile Open last week, with some squads really putting in the work and managing to secure over 100 points for their squads. So these highlights of the week are going to offer some variety, let's be honest, D-Man, and our first clip is going to be from 4D, and they are on Miramar at Minas Generales. Aren't they, D-Man?
Yeah, we're going to be looking across just a bunch of highlights throughout the week, really, to try and follow out. It's very hard to obviously follow all the teams because, well, there's 320 of you guys out there, teams alone, not in just players, so a lot going on throughout it. So we're joining at phase 6 here. You can see the circle starting to shrink in, coming in towards Minas Generales, just south side of the road in the main compound area, of course. So we know it's also like down slope area, so it's really tricky, and especially with 7 teams still alive in this area, it's going to be very hard for them to fight off. But you can see Mr. 4D starting things off very well here as they lay down the smoke and try and move into the circle, but there's just not a lot of cover here, Banks, for these teams.
There isn't really, no. It's a very open final circle, open 6th circle. We've just got a really good vantage point, though, from 4D, knowing that that team is on their left and they can just pick them off as they try to come out, as the blue approaches in. So it's a really good opportunity to get some kills, but also they are having to push into a really open area here. There's only a few elements of cover, which they're just anticipating that other players are going to be camping out in for this end circle right here.
Yeah, the problem for Aliquis here is he really wants to try and flank around and get an angle on the man in the barn on the right, because they know they're not quite in the circle. But yeah, as he just saw, he looks up the hill and he's like, oh, there's not a great angle over there either. So he's got to try and deal with Evo. Gets a nice gun down. That's a nice little spray there with the barrel making it work for him as he tries to take a peek. But again, look at the left side. Look at the north side of the minimap on the top corner there. So there's an angle, a perfect angle down slope for him there. So he really needs to smoke it off if he wants to try and deal with these 2 players in the barn. They're not in the circle. Let the blue do the business for him, really, and let it push for them. They may try and heal it out. He's very well geared out as well. You can see in terms of items he's got, so he's looking good, but he's just going to be careful he doesn't expose himself too much. Tries to push up using a good bit of flank there, but again, shots from the left, and it's exactly those people up on the hillside, on the north side, that do manage to clip him down, and that's just the danger of the cover. So switching over to Sandhawk, and a finish I'm actually pretty jealous of, because it so very rarely ends in boot camp on Sandhawk that this is actually pretty unbelievable. It's normally where all the action starts, let alone ends.
We've got loads of cover opportunities here. We've got loads of buildings. We are going to actually have to push out of boot camp in order to get in towards that circle. But it's just looking pretty strong here. Team TPSX Animal here, just like healing up, making sure that he's got everything poised and ready for when he pushes out of there. You've got Typhoon on the right there, just checking his left side. If he checks this doorway, he's going to get an absolute fistful of bullets if he tries to exit out of here, which we're probably going to see shortly. Oh, he spotted him there, trying to shoot through the smoke, get a few pot shots off, but also he's giving away his position by doing this. So there you go, nade comes in, almost takes him out. But this is about comms right now. You're getting to a position where comms are going to be so crucial. Trying to lie down and just get spotted out by Typhoon, like we said, on that right-hand side.
I think his problem out there was the fact that we're in the warehouse, and obviously these players, you know, if they have to pull out the warehouse, well, look at his point of view right there. There's a door. If somebody stands in that door, it's so very obvious where you are. So great step up here. 14 kills and counting for CW here. So really great start for them. He's got a very good idea of where this player is for Divine, and he's just going to try and pop those nades beautifully on the angle. You can see it took, well, a good 2/3 of the health off Divine there. Emerald, and it looks like Merlin that's in there, sorry. Another chunk is very unlucky to actually not get the kill by the looks of it, but that one has managed to bandage up or heal himself, which is why he didn't go down. So he's lining up the next grenade. Now he's just unsure. He's like, is he still in there? I'm not too sure. Going to push into the blue. That is risky. How did he not go down there? I don't know how the blue didn't finish him off, but nonetheless, it ends up being a 15-kill game for CW. So cracking stuff there. So moving over. This is on Erangel once again. It looks like it's just outside his shooting range as well. And it is a classic. It's a 4v4 finish. It's what you love to see, and it's going to be all about those flanking opportunities, laying down the smoke, laying down as much cover as you can. Doesn't look like they haven't got any vehicles either, so there's no vehicle defense compounds that can set themselves up. It's all about the gunplay.
Again, we're seeing quite an open-aired finish here. Not a lot of cover. They're literally just going to have to use the hillsides as useful as they can. NT managing to keep the high ground as well, and they've actually pushed them down. You've got the opposing team LF having to push uphill, and they don't have circle. The blue's going to be pushing them towards. So it's just, can NT hold their line here? But he's pushing up.
It's a really good push there. He's got the cover as well. There's a player behind him to the right, so he's kind of giving that Overwatch cover. But one of his teammates has just gone down. That's over on the left-hand side of where he is right now, so he's got to be careful he doesn't get pushed himself. He puts that smoke down. That's actually giving his position away, so he realizes it. He's going to back away from this one. He's got 10 kills, 24 kills this team. Incredible stuff. Will get knocked. 10 kills himself, so big credit to him at the moment. Looking great for him, but unfortunately, it does look like his team are falling left and right. There's now a big push comes out from LF here. Evil Boy making it work. Great DP action. Swings around on his stoner. He was the man that was holding that key point. So while, of course, it does look like it's going to be, a possible 10-kill game finish here for LF, you got to give credit to the other team, NT. They had 24 kills, so massive points. Even though they're going to be in second place by the looks of it, doesn't look like they're going to have much out of this one. Oh, there's a nade lining up as well. That surely spells doom. He's going to toss one over. A second one will follow. Will it land? You can see Purex in the distance. He's already been knocked, so it is just one man they need to push up on. They have 3 alive, so they're just making sure this is done by the numbers.
I can't help but think, did they need to do that? Did NT need to push up and try and hold them down the hill? They had they had ample time to back up and just reset themselves for when LF try and push over the hill, but they threw it away, unfortunately. Yes, like you said, huge amount of kills, and they came seconds. They definitely got a lot of points coming out of that D-man.
Moving over to Miramar. This looks like it's just outside of Monte Nuevo. As we're back with Team 1, a team we covered last week, actually. We'll see whether it works out. That molly was absolutely bang on, Shelby. There's nothing you can do about that. That was about as accurate a molly as you can get. It came out of Sawyer here by the looks of it. And I was just about to say, I don't think they've got too many kills, but Sawyer certainly has got 5 kills for his team. He's a one-man army, as it were, because that's all the team has. So it looks like he lost his team early on, so he's trying to do what he can. Looks like he's got, this is Team 18. I can't tell what their tag is, Trap, because one's got Trap and one's got another thing. So I guess they're just 2 guys that have tried to come together to pressure down. A 2v1, it's always tricky. He's actually got great cover here, though, because obviously we are in third person, not first person, which is why he's got the opportunity to just look over the edge. Great spray down to get one down, to take it into a one-on-one, realizing that his teammate's probably going to try and go for that revive, which is why he aimed up that nade towards the tree to try and prevent the revive from coming in. Trap's trying to sneak his way across there. He should get spotted out. Will do. Gets the spray down, and that's going to be it. Now, one-on-one. Can he come around top? That's a good hit coming out, but I don't think it's good enough. He's going to use the opportunity to try and push up, use that flanking cover, but unfortunately his teammate has managed to get the reload on, knows exactly what's happening. He's got himself set up, tries to use the tree for cover, but doesn't work out and will fall down.
So disappointing. You'd have thought he'd got some shots off early as he's running up, but tried to take cover just too soon and just unfortunately didn't get. But now we got LF once more, and they're sat at the top of the hill right here. Really, really impressive positioning that they've got right now. However, the blue is going to push them off. So can they get a few shots off? Can they get a few kills before they have to push down? Because it's just going to really open themselves up for gunfire when they decide to jump on over the hill. It looks like you got a 2-man team right in the top of your screen over there. They're going to be situated behind the tree line, but they're in a really advantageous position. Even though they're further down the hill, they have a good position for late game.
Problem is, yeah, when you're coming down the hill like this, you are pretty exposed to maybe anyone. Obviously, the great part is you have the overlook. You have that height advantage, and at the moment, they are absolutely picking everyone apart. Evil Boy, though, one of his teammates has been knocked on the left-hand side and finished off, as well as FRA, so they've lost 2 already as Kobo tries to make his work here. But as I say, look, the problem is, look at the left-hand side of where Wasted is right now. It is so wide open, and that's what they care about. It seems they don't have any smokes left, because at the moment, why they're not smoking it up and making the move, that's what they're going to be looking to do. They're not in the circle. The circle is pulled away from them down the opposite side of the road, which is just open territory. And you can see they know exactly where the opponents are, but they're stacking up behind that tree. He's got no angle to try and land the shot here. He's well aware of where they are, but he's tilting, looking, trying to find any little leg, any little arm that's maybe poking out. Is there a gun? Is there anything showing? No. They are completely stacked behind it. They're going to get the revive off, the heal off, and unfortunately for them, this is going to be a very tricky move.
It is extremely tricky. They were obviously waiting to see if the 7th circle was going to appear in their favor higher up the hill, but no, it's dragging them all the way down. They can just sit right behind there. Good spray down, but they're going to have to move. The blue is pushing them out of position. They have to jump down.
There's another one. There's another team.
There's a solo on the right.
There is another solo. So he's dropped down, and now he can't. Now he's got to be wary of this solo. Will manage to get him down. So Cobra picks up Clawclay. Clawclay had taken a lot of blue damage, but unfortunately, it will leave him exposed there, and down he goes.
Swinging things back over. We are now with Team TISX. Bad Mac right here, just applying some of the bandages. He's got 14 in his pocket, so he's got plenty of time. He can just lie down and re-med himself up. But right here, 7 team kills, 9 alive, 3 teams. We're looking at, but we're at a team that's fully stacked. We've got all 4 of them up. So pretty advantageous there, but they're going to have to push up this left side because it seems that TX Lion at the top of the hill has got the best position, so he's going to try and go and join his teammate up there, I think, D-Man.
Yeah, they're in a brilliant 2-2 split here. This is exactly how you want to play this. And really, you want the other 2 teams to sort of shoot each other, basically. This is the perfect opportunity. Or, when you know you're at the man advantage, now, they don't know whether they're against a team of 4 on a solo or whether they're against a 3 and a 2, as we can see. They have no information about this other than the fact that, what they can gather themselves. A bit of micro Uzi action going off. Revenge will get 1 down. So that's Rain been a knockdown there. Will they be able to flush it out? Doesn't look like it at the moment. Rainkiller's going to try and get up and support him, get that revive off. But Revenge has actually pushed a little too much there. Hiker's managed to take him down. Now, Bad Mac with the DP switches over to the AK, trying to see if he can get an angle. But the problem is, he can't push too far because look at the team on the left. Now, Lion's just got that shot down, but he's exposing himself. There is another team that's looking. Now he's realized it. He's going to try and smoke off his teammate and get the revive.
Indeed, things slow down ever so slightly as he drops down the smoke, trying to get off the revive. You notice that Bad Mac is actually using the DP28. It's had a slight speed buff in the reloading because it was just absolutely took forever to reload prior.
It's a big old disc you've got to put in.
Yeah, the light machine gun is so useful though at end game because the DPS is just so strong, so much damage, and if you can land your shots, I mean, it's an absolute melt machine, D-Man.
Lion's working well. He's the one on the left-hand side at the moment, so he's up the hill. He's got the perfect angle. Waz has been also picked off. We've switched across there, tried to get an angle of him, but Bad Mac does manage to get Hiker down, so now he's looking to try and make the push here. The other team has gone down, so now they're the only ones alive. Lion with that Grozer's making it work, but he's been knocked as well, so Bad Mac's got to back away from this one. Still got plenty in the mag, but he's actually panicking a little bit, going for that reload on the AK. We're down to a 2-on-2 here. Nade's coming in. Bad Mac eating a hell of a nade there. Lion has been finished off by the Thompson, so now they're actually in a bit of a pressure position here. And they've lost the 2 left flankers. The circle has kind of gone their way, but they don't have the ridge line that we're seeing Rain hold.
Bad Mac really needed to capitalize on those 2 kills just there because Rain just didn't know that he was there on the left side. And as soon as he exposed himself, tried to get a few pot shots off, didn't get the down. So now they're just raining nades on him in an attempt to try and take them out.
That's a risky push, but it's actually worked out there. Avengers managed to get taken down. He's down to a 2v1. This was a 4-man team alive, and Rain has taken them out. How did they allow that to happen? They had a 4-man position versus a 2 and a 3. You shouldn't be losing that. You should not be losing.
Not be losing that at all. Having the advantageous position of being up the hill as well and being able to look down on them, you can see the entire landscape, and still they managed to push up and win. Great victory for Rain there, though. Got to hand it to them, so they'll be taking that victory and the points through on this ladder. So the DP28, like we mentioned, had that little bit of a buff, so it's definitely a viable option in endgame, like we've mentioned already. But which map do you feel most comfortable on, D-Man? What are you saying? Erangel,
It's the classic. It's the original, the classic. Well, I say the original because it's version 2 these days, or version 3, whatever. There's been a few iterations, but version 2 is the classic name of it. But Erangel's the place to be. That's always been the best.
Some of those highlight clips definitely reminding us all that nades are so important end game. Hold on to your nades, you're going to need them at the end, but absolutely fantastic display from all of our teams involved. And if you want to follow us on social media, don't forget !social, and that will take you through to all of our pages that you need to keep up to date with the ESL Mobile Open as we progress. So we have some of the best plays of the week coming up from Clash Royale after the break.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
We're back, and it's time for some Clash Royale. We've had some extremely strong decks already in this competition, and it's only going to get tougher and tougher. Last week, we saw topping the leaderboard was Game Freak TV, so let's find out if he managed to keep hold of it this week, D-Man.
Yeah, it's been a quiet one for Game Freak, I would say, but he's managed to hold on to the top there. Did sneak a couple of games in on Friday night when he realized he'd actually lost the #1 spot, so he snuck back up there, which did mean Inaraj, who was as a new one in at the second place, is snuck in there. We're still seeing David Rooney and Destroyer that were around last week, but it was Poldy that Game Freak actually beat 2 games running on Friday night, so obviously had a bit of a revenge game in there. It does mean that we see like York, who was, I believe, in second last week, has slipped down, so not been the greatest week for him. But once again, Banks, we're seeing some players sneaking in a couple of games, 1 or 2 games, some are hammering out the games.
It's true. We've got Destroyer, who's now sitting in the top 10, who's had 91 matches. He's really been putting in the reps, trying to go up against some of the big guns. And we've also got in 14th, as you just saw there, Tony, who's only had 4 matches. He's 3-1 right now, D-Man.
Insane numbers. Yeah, David Rooney, 39-0-17, whereas obviously Game Freak at the top there, 16-0-0, so doing really well. So we've obviously plucked a couple of the replays to show you guys.
We have indeed. Some balance changes have also made a big impact on this game. Decks have changed. Even after a slight nerf, the Elite Barbarians are huge favourites due to their DPS. Great defensively and offensively, but we're looking at Zeozia versus Destroyer. Destroyer, who you've seen on the table, is 5th. Zeozia, I think, is 18th.
30th now. 30th.
30th
so
now.
Obviously played a couple more since you looked at it. Yeah. So has had gone from doing very well. I think it was around about 5th or 6th last week down to 30th. So it's been a bad week for him. Not the only person to have a bad week. We'll get to that in a little while. But at the moment, though, Destroyer, using the a couple of things that we've seen throughout, very different deck that we've seen Destroyer. So it's great to see the versatility that Destroyer's had through the weeks that we've seen him. And I mean, when you play 90 odd games.
It's very true. You got the Mother Witch on the left, Elite Barbarians, definitely, like we've already discussed, so powerful. The Royal Hog pushing towards the Tesla, trying to get it down, trying to get this Tesla, this nuisance defense, trying to get it down using the Elite Barbarian, not the Electric Barbarian. And we've also got the Royal Giant on the left side, the tank himself. Destroyer looking like he's going on an all-out defensive at the start of this war.
Doing a lot of damage to that tower as well. He's got a lot of value out of that. Down to 647 already with a minute and a half left. That was far more damage than he would like there, and immediately the hook onto the Valkyrie. Stop the Valkyrie getting onto that tower. The miner is going to get down, but immediately you can see he's going to get electrocuted down and picked off there. So 647 damage. The Barbarian will come down and just distract as much as he can, but that is a great opener for Destroyer.
Really is. Yoza looking like he's just sitting on defense right now, not really knowing how to make this attack, trying to basically feel out what his opponent has sitting in the deck, trying to get as much value as he can, but it looks like Destroyer is just going to keep hammering down on that left side tower.
Well. I just thought that was almost like one of those things you sort of throw down just to troll your opponent, but he actually got away with it as well. So big attack coming out from ZOZ. You can see throwing the Valkyrie down the balloon, trying to get as much down as he can. The balloon will get some free damage down here. Only the tower going to be trying to stop that air defense. Those barbs are going to get stopped out, but again, the Royal Giant coming in. The Tesla turret this time will distract the Royal Giant.
It's difficult because you've got the Royal Giant. Yeah, he's dropping another Royal Giant, just trying to get this tanking so that he can push through the Valk. But the Valk is just an extremely strong defensive strategy to push out there. And look, she's still got so much health pushing through, and she's also good on the attack as well. Mother Witch is going to have to take care of her. Maybe she'll get a few shots off, but the Fisherman hooks her in.
It's interesting. I could see he was hovering over the fireball. He's like, I might use it, but I might save it. Okay, now he's used it. So I think he was saving it maybe to try and shoot the tower and try and get that extra little bit of damage. You see the log rolling through, but he's realized I got to be defensive. I got to play this cautiously as I can. Royal Giant down once again. 484. Something needs to go down. He's already put the Valkyrie down on the right-hand side, so the Royal Giant will get a single shot off there. The turret dumped on his head. Now the balloon coming in. It's all or nothing. 403. The fireball goes in, and the Royal Giant will finish it off, but you can see how close that was. 403. If that balloon had another second, would have dropped the bomb, and it would have been the game for Zioza. He's going to be ruining that game.
Destroyer had to just say, look, I'm going to have to hold on to the fireball until I can use it, because there's only 241 damage left to do on this left side tower, and just go for it, because Zioza was just being a nuisance, dropping everything on the right hand side, dropping things slowly, dropping the loons on the right, dropping the Valks, just to distract any of the troops that Destroyer was using to go up that left side, D-Man.
So close. And well, we see Destroyer again. We were talking about the fact that he's played 90 plus games. It's more now. He's played 100. He's played 100 games now. I've just looked at the table. He's actually played 100 too. He's smashing them out right now. So he may have played a couple this morning, maybe. I don't know. I think they're allowed to play on Monday. I'm not too sure. But Inaraj was second on the table. So definitely a tough opponent here.
Inaraj won in overtime in their previous matchup between Inaraj and Destroyer. So now it's to see, can Destroyer put the nail back into the coffin against Inaraj? And basically, Destroyer seems to be going up against some of the heavy hitters in this as well. So definitely getting the reps in, definitely improving as well. But using that miner on the left side to just chip away at Inaraj's defenses and Sparky being dropped eventually to take him out.
So annoying when you have little skeletons like that dropped that distract your Pecky. Your Pecky's like he's going to do some big hits this tower. He's going to, that's just annoying. No. Goblin Giant coming straight in. So they're going to be able to take down the turret in there. The Zappy trying to do what they can. But yeah, the big damage. It's so hard to get that to hit the tower. If it does hit, it'll do a lot. The Zap is now coming out. That's just going to try and delay things as much as he can. The Miner, though, is getting some good value on the top there. The left turret taking some damage down to 1800.
I believe Inaraj was just debating whether or not it was a better idea to distract the Elite Barbarians or to go for the Miner, and he obviously chose the Elite Barbarians because they deal so much damage. Let's just accept the fact that the Miner's going to get a few chips away on this left tower. And this mortar, yes, Inaraj is going to have to do something about this mortar on the left side.
He's just trying to build his elixir up, but he's lost a good 400 plus hit points so far to this mortar and counting. He's getting so much value for this basically free damage at the moment. He's going to put something down to stop it. It's going to time out, but that has done so much.
Way too much damage. Inaraj needed to put something down sooner than that. So obviously he's going to go out on a full offensive right now in order to try and take out this back left tower, dropping the Goblin Giant with Sparky. Huge amounts of DPS and tanking ability right here. And he's dropped a Rage as well to absolutely fly through. The Musketeer in the back trying to defend as much as they can. Sparky just didn't do enough there. Nothing really happened. And it's just looking like curtains.
Just the fireball on it, and that Destroyer had an answer for everything he had there. So 690, there goes a Miner once again. That's quickly responded to, but he's going to get a couple of hits off this until Sparky will finally go off there. So it took another 100 off the left turret. 18 seconds to go before we hit overtime. The Musketeer will come down. That's going to just get a couple of shots off on Sparky. Everything's there. There's the skeletons, just everything to distract that big shot, but that's all they need. All they need to distract it. The minion will actually slow him down. That's going to be the Musketeer's getting zapped out as he tries to drop the Rage down to try and speed things up, but really there's not a lot of damage done by Inaraj yet as we hit overtime.
Not at all. Destroyer is definitely the favorite right now. We've got the Elite Barbarian chipping away on that right side tower, just getting as much damage as he can, because we're going to wait. We've got 1 minute and 45 seconds left of overtime. Plenty of time to get as much damage as he can on that left side tower. 402.
Miner.
Surely he's got to do it.
Miner. It's close to fireball. It's close to fireball. He's going to get the Miner down. Is that enough, though? He's really barely got any damage done himself. The log roll, along with a fireball, might be enough. He's looking at the log roll. Oh, it doesn't quite make it through. He's got actually units on the right. There's the Miner once again. There's the fireball. It should be enough. The Miner, one more hit. He gets it. The Destroyer will take down Inaraj, and that would have given him a lot of points on the ladder. Inaraj, the second placed player right now. That would have been a big point score for him in the ELO rankings.
Definitely. Destroyer had to just come up with some sort of system to distract over to the right-hand side. So why not just drop the Elite Barbarians on the right every time? Let's start chipping away at that right side tower and leave everything distracted, and then just the Miner fireball combination twice in a row. Thanks very much. I'll take that left side tower.
Yeah, I mean, the miner, it was just a sneaky one more hit that was required for him. But, yeah, incredible stuff. And we see, obviously, Destroyer pumping out games left and right. Clearly has the skills and abilities. Just needs to be probably more consistent with his wins. But now we move over. Ziozia versus David Rooney, who we saw both of these players last week.
David Rooney's going to be coming in with the Royal Hogs, the Zappies Flying Machine, Elite Barbarians, and the Barbarian Barrel. One of my personal favourites. You throw a Barbarian in a barrel at one of your opponents and he bursts out and just deals loads and loads of damage nice and up close. But we got an Ice Golem on the left-hand side as well. One of your tanking troops with the Zappies just managed to take him out nice and easy. Log manages to tank for the little Skelly, but yeah, he's not going to get anywhere close to that left side tower.
Yeah, I think for me that the current favourite is probably the Log Roll, but I do love the Hog Rider. It was the tried and tested back at the very start of Clash Royale. Everybody had the Hogs, and we're seeing it in action, I think, here from Ziozia. There we go, Hog Rider! I'm actually, you can't tell because I got a jumper on. Actually, I have a Hog Rider t-shirt on underneath this at the moment, the legendary Hog Rider. So getting some good damage, good value down there. 1862 already on the left turret for Ziozia.
One thing that you will notice as well from Ziozia, using the Hog Riders as well, but some interesting compositions right here. We've got the Heal Spirit, we've got the Ice Golem that's going to be used on the left, and wait for this Mega Knight who's going to be dropped by David Rooney shortly. But it's actually pretty even right now. We're looking at a little bit chipped off of both of the Ziozia's towers. But then obviously the most amount of damage being taken onto David Rooney's left side tower. But it seems like David Rooney's attacking fairly evenly. And the use of the Firecracker is going to be interesting as we approach later game.
Yeah, very useful actually, countering quite easily into what David Rooney is obviously dropping there. Oh, the Royal Hogs, they're going to be piling on through. The Barbarians, and I think they quite got enough to stop them getting a hit off. And he will get about 2 or 3 hits, taking it down to 1790. So actually even on damage on both left side turrets right now. The Firecracker goes in. There's a Hog once again pushing forward, but immediate Barbarians just to counter him off and stop that. Unfortunately, the Hog is not as quite strong as it used to be because there are so many countering options.
It really seems like the Elite Barbarians are the chosen, always in the chosen deck. Every deck that we've seen, we've had the Elite Barbarians in there. Their damage is incredible, and their defense capabilities are amazing as well. But the Firecracker is what's going to be the difference maker in this, because you see anything against an air attack or a ground attack, the Firecracker is there, piling on the damage. Great defensive troop, and even getting a few pot shots earlier off at David Rooney's right side tower.
In a decent amount of damage on the right side. Yeah, the Royal Hogs coming through, the Witch with the Barbarian cover. It should be some decent damage coming in here as well. Could have done with the Zappies to sort of get a little closer to try and get that support down. But now we're going to hit overtime, 10 seconds to go here. And honestly, at this stage, I don't actually know which turret they're going to go for because it's all pretty even. They got a good damage on that right turret there, though.
Just see the Mega Knight with a superhero landing on top of the Ice Golem, just squashed him and just managed to absolutely eviscerate Ziozia's attack. However, it just seems like Ziozia's just piling on the pressure, still putting down those attacking troops, but also having to defend using the Firecracker, which is just great. It just seems like his deck is just a little bit better right now.
The Hogs were through. They've got another 100 plus taken off that left turret, but it's still very close. Like, is it going to be left? Is it going to be right? I don't actually know which way we're going to go here. There is a good build-up on the left-hand side, though, and now the Royal Hogs on the right. That's where the real damage could be done. The Royal Hogs are going to get in there, down to 900, 600, 500. The logs come through. It's not enough. The turret's surely going to go down. One more hit. It's on 59. The Fireball will finish it off.
And the Fireball
and David Rooney.
Even need it.
It's actually the left one that went down. He could have got both, I think, now. I just saw the Fireball coming out. I was so focused on that right side turret with the Royal Hogs, but he actually got the left one. And that just shows interesting from David Rooney is like, I mean, that not only kept me guessing, it kept his opponent guessing because he didn't really know which side to defend.
I think that Ziozia was just attempting to chip away at one of them, and David Rooney was like, I'm just going to go for both. I'm sending left, I'm sending right. You can decide what you want to defend against, and the Royal Hogs are really piling on the damage there. Maybe sent Ziozia into a little bit of a panic, but don't forget you can sign up to the ESL Mobile Open to join in all that action. Just put ! sign up in the chat and follow the instructions, and you can go up against some of the best in your chosen mobile esports. So we got some scrappy matches up and coming after the break with Brawl Stars.
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
This week in Brawl Stars, we saw a bit of a leaderboard change that put a spanner in the works for our seasoned vets of Brawl Stars. We've had 6-hour windows of matches across 3 days, and we have a team that's undefeated, though it might not be the team that you think, D-Man.
Absolutely. It's been the free agents. They are running amok right now. Hello, anybody want to pick up a team? Just saying. The free agents are right at the top, ahead of AC Milan and SK Game. We've also got Big moving in there as well. But yeah, 11-0-0. Currently undefeated. Along with Mood, we should give Mood a shout because they're 8-0-0 as well in here now as well.
Starting to catch up as well. Blood Diamond Russia sitting in the top 10 as well at 8th. But you've got to look at actually the points as well. The points available, there's not much in it. Between 1st and 8th, it's less than 100 points. There's still everything to play for. And I love the fact that this Brawl Stars tournament, this ladder, is just so neck and neck between these teams, D-Man.
Yeah, the tea drinkers, unfortunately, the Brits, they've dropped down to 10, you know, when topping our tea. I say Brits, there is some Czech players in there as well, I should point out. But yeah, they've dropped down. I think they were 4th or 5th last week, so they've had a bit of a tougher week, no doubt about it, along with some of the other teams. But yeah, it's been a great series so far for free agents, and incredible stuff, topping the table in quite convincing style, I would say.
Well, we're going to kick off with 2 teams who are both in the top 10 and are scrapping for those ladder points. We're going to be watching free agents going up against Blood Diamond Russia, D-Man.
If you're looking for some team, well, there it is. YDE, Yoshi, and Curse, they are possibly the ones you're looking towards at the moment, playing Tara, Tick, and Bo. Obviously starting out in this bounty action. Kagamu, oh, I was going to say, pushed too deep there. Kagamu on Bo getting caught out. Tara also for Lalyu, and Piper also in there as well, up on the Blood Diamonds. This is the Russian Blood Diamonds, not the European Blood Diamonds. There are 2 of them out there, but very defensive play, very defensive start. They got the kills early on, why not?
Great job by Cursed actually pushing up that right-hand side as Tick just pushing them back, throwing his mines repetitively, pushing them all the way back to their central compartment at the back of their base. And we've also got them pushing back now into their tome, which they're sitting in, just regaining their super, regaining their health, making sure that they don't need to push up too far. They're sitting pretty at the back with the tie-breaking star. And things slow down. They're just getting a feel out for their opponents. A little bit of pushing up by Blood Diamond Russia. Here we go. Absolute carnage ensuing in the middle. And Tara managing to secure one of the kills. So it's 4 apiece now.
It's very clever what free agents are doing here. They're basically nullifying Piper. Like, they're constantly spamming the left and the right. So, okay, these are the only points you can reach us. And you can see Cube struggling to try and find a position to get close enough. Now, far too close. Piper, you want to be sniping. Backs away quickly. Tries to do what he can. Will take out the cover, though. So now there's a problem. Yoshi, let's see what he can do. Because Cube, Lalio on the left, he's trying to draw their attention. There's a lot of action coming out as well. Cube trying to do what he can to try and get a snipe. But I don't think I've seen him land a shot yet.
Yeah, Cube as Piper, just basically trying to push up. That initial time that you saw him push right up was basically to drop the super and try and get a good explosion and some decent damage dealt, but absolutely nothing to avail. So they had to push back. Cursed on the right-hand side yet again, dropping mines from Tick. Here we go. Here comes a big push. Big push from Blood Diamond Russia. Trying to secure some of these stars. 9-4 in favor of Blood Diamond Russia. Holding on to that blue star as well. 11-4 to close things out. What an incredible ending right there. Managed to corner them into that bottom right-hand section and just absolutely laid down the hate on them.
Yeah, massive play. Lalio completely distracted there while Kagamu came in and did the damage. Now, over to Brawl Ball. So, free agents obviously losing out in that opening game. I can tell you they came back and won one in Bounty. So now we're over to Brawl Ball. Obviously, the series will continue. Lalio taking a lot of damage there. Kagamu and Cube can't really get too close to this one. Doesn't want to touch the ball. Cube, yeah, just going to get absolutely picked off by Barley there, by YDE. And now they can push with the 1-man down, waiting for that respawn to come in. Barley's ulti will go down. That's just going to obliterate the entire defensive area right now as YDE continues to push. The Barley grenade comes in once again, catches Kagamu off guard. But the ball, unfortunately, is way out of position. Nita's going to go down. So YDE going to try and get it across. But where can he go from here? Nowhere.
They have to push back and basically regain, but they've got the ball in an advantageous position. It's just, can they push up and can they commit to get to it? But it doesn't look like it. Kagamu's just going to run straight down the middle, absolutely avoiding all of the shots. Can he get a shot before he dies? Goes down and the ball rolls in. What an incredible first goal from Blood Diamond Russia, D-Man.
Well, you thought it was going to be the free agents there, didn't you? But no, Blood Diamonds, great start from them. Lalio once again being very aggressive. The Barley ulti down in the middle there. Cube taking a hell of a lot of damage. Has to back away from that on 100 health. Pops his ulti to try and go into that sandstorm and keep himself invisible as much as he can, but the ball's still untouched. Curse taking a lot of damage now as Kagamu comes forward once again. The goal scorer. Can he set things up once again? Lays it across nicely. Lalio is there. Cube just needs a little pass. There's something that's got to come from this one. Yoshi will get across there on Nita, but he's getting too close. The ball comes across from Cube, and he will get the shot off and takes it 2-0. Pays for it with his life, but the win goes to the Blood Diamonds in the first game of Brawl Ball.
Curse just tried to get that final tackle off at the very end and only just missed. Playing as B as well. B, such an incredible choice, I think. A really underutilized character to use in Brawl Ball. Dropping that honey trap is just such a great... It's just an OP move, I think, D-Man.
So the changes coming out. Actually, both teams are actually mirroring one another. Wow, Curse absolutely just blasted through the middle. I didn't even get a chance to say that they are actually using mirror teams here. Very quick action from free agents, realizing maybe where they've made the mistake in the past is trying to let them go, but Kagamu's gone way, way too deep there. YD is in a great position, comes across, they're going to catch in there. Yoshi opens up, and that is done and dusted. And that is how quick the free agents come back at you. The Blood Diamonds, no answer for the speed and aggression of free agents.
Yes, free agents did indeed manage to take that match, and so keeping their undefeated record right the way up to the top as they sit in first position. Blood Diamond Russia sitting in 8th right now. An incredible matchup, really. It was a lot of back and forth, but free agents just managing to keep hold that consistency. And like you said, look at that bounce back in the Brawl Ball. Just slotted 2 goals within 30 seconds of each other, D-Man.
Yeah, and that was the win, but it was close. There's no doubt about it. Blood Diamonds, you know, I think their position is maybe a little understated. They're down in 8th at the moment, so they've certainly got it about them. They're 13-0-7, but we know if they're that close against the #1 team, they are absolutely capable to get into that top 5 and keep on pushing. But now we're going to switch over. This is obviously AC Milan, who we've seen so dominant so far. 15-0-2 in the table against the French org. I believe it's Nebilium, if I'm not mistaken.
Nebulium, it is indeed Nebulium. But we got Gil playing as Tara. Great kill right there on the opposing Tara. He's throwing out those cards, managing to secure 4 stars. So Gil's just gonna retreat slightly. He's sitting at 8 stars to 3 right now. He doesn't need to push up. He can actually play a little bit defensively now. But now we got Bo approaching on the left side. Just gets spotted by Trebor, the other Bo as well. Oh, but gets taken down.
Obliterated by Synox on the Bo there, yeah, with Crag on Frank to back him up, and now they're making the aggressive push here, trying to get what they can from this one. AC Milan in good trouble here. They're getting pinned down, but what an answer comes out. Trebor just popping damage left and right, and unfortunately now that leaves Xinox completely on his own. 16-9 in that bounty game.
What a turnaround by AC Milan. They were going down. Frank was dealing all of that damage, and they just managed to come out on top and smash them out of the park. 16 stars. What an incredible end. But here we go. Another bounty. AC Milan pushing up into the corner. They are cornered, so they're just going to have to fight their way out of it if they can. 7 stars to 0 for AC Milan. Now they can retreat, sit back, and they have no choice. Nebulium have no choice but to push up and try and gain some stars back or some control of this game. Here we go, on the left-hand side. Frank with an absolutely obliterative smash takes apart some of the long grass, is what I was trying to say.
Takes everything apart
their
at the
opponents.
moment.
Yeah.
Chaos going to try and push, but Trebor down to 28 health. Was so close to going down there. Now Gil's going to go in for that one, and he will get Xinox down to the Bow picked off. Now he can see if they can store it up. 10-4 with a minute to go. Nebulium just need to try and regroup and figure off an angle. There's not a great deal of cover. You can see for AC Milan, that's where the action's been happening. They've been playing defensive, And Nobilium trying to use that grass. That's a great hit onto Trebor, starting things off there, but it wasn't enough to snipe him down. And now the support just on the right-hand side. They're focusing on Trebor, but they've got to be careful that's not all they focus on, because Chaos is going to come around the side. Gil will push around the side. Oh, they're under pressure. That was a great hit. Chaos down to 300 hit points. Will just about get away. And now it's 10-10 with 25 seconds.
Exactly, 25 seconds, but they have the tie-breaking star, which means AC Milan have to push forward, regain some of their super as quickly as they can, get up there, drop their supers down, and just try and cause some carnage and regain these stars. They're going to have to work together, though. They can't leave Tara too far behind. They're going to have to push together as a team. Try and single out that right-hand side. Try and single out that super on the right-hand side.
Frank with a big hammer down there. Almost caught Chaos out there. The second hammer comes down, but it isn't quite enough. And in the end, it will be Nobilium that will pick up the win there. So now moving over to Brawl Ball. AC Milan, well, we know how good they are at Brawl Ball, and things are kicking off already. We're already a goal down, and this is looking like a second one. That is a pretty damn quick game from AC Milan Clash there, and that's how they roll. You know, the fact is, Bounty was close, but when you get to Brawl Ball against an Italian football team, it's only going to go one way.
An extremely impressive display by AC Milan. They did manage to come out on top and secure another win, and they are sitting at second. We're just really excited to see if next week our free agent's going to go up against AC Milan Clash. That would be what we want to see and what we want to cast over for you guys at home. So make sure, don't forget to sign up on !social to keep an eye on our socials in between our shows. And there's still so much to play for, and we cannot wait to see how it all unfolds. So do you have a favourite brawler up to this point, D-Man?
I'm all about Poco. Like, I am the support player in this game, mainly because I'm not playing as a 3. So I'm playing as like a solo with a couple of like unknowns. So I just feel, you know, you queue up, you can be a healer, you can put a bit of decent damage down as well, at my level.
I have to say that after seeing AC Milan going out with that, Frank just dealing so much damage. Such an exciting character to play as. What a great brawler. So don't forget that you can sign up to ESL Mobile Open. ! Sign up in the chat and follow all the instructions to play against some of the best. So a lot of big changes coming to this next game that we're going to talk about. It's our last one, and it's caused quite a stir in the competitive scene. So we're going to have Clash of Clans after the break.
See the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the prize is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking calls. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about
ESL Mobile Open is brought to you by DHL and Pay Safeguard.
Only on its third year of esports, and it draws in so much attention globally. Clash of Clans has been around for some time now, and it has definitely found its footing in the mobile esports world. We can quickly fire through some of the latest Town Hall 14 updates that we've had and that we've seen in last week's tournament as well. But we've got to kick off with the pets, right, D-Man?
Absolutely. The pets is where it's all been. Obviously, we've seen what people perceived as to be the correct way to play these pets, but we are seeing, teams and players starting to switch it up, try different things, and that's what it's all about, right? It's not just about doing the tried and tested, the bog standard, seeing where you're going to put the unicorn. Will Lassie ever get involved? Because we haven't seen Lassie too much yet. The Yak has been predominant, and of course, don't forget the unicorn healing everything.
It's extremely impressive how they're using it and how they're adapting. But if we look at the leaderboard, something that I mentioned last week, the dark horse of the competition, aka the Dark Unicorn, sitting at third. They are 8-0 currently as well. Typically, seeing MCES up in the top 3 as per usual. Silent Sniper's actually there as well. But what is the big talk of the town right now, D-Man?
Yeah, it's the fact that there is kind of a team missing. Where are the world champions? Well, I can tell you where they are. They're in 26th. 26th on the ladder. They have had a abysmal week. They actually, I say week, they only played 2 days and gave up on the third day. They're like, nope, we are done. They played on Monday, they played on Tuesday, and they gave up on Wednesday when everybody else was playing. They said no. So obviously they are either testing things, changing things, trying things. I don't know what it is, but something did not go well for Alternate ATAX this week.
Yeah, Alternate Attacks this week sitting at 2-5, 2 wins and 5 losses. And we've also seen Tribe Gaming and 11 Original typically within that top 10 spot. They're sitting in 12th and 14th, so it's not too bad for them. But we're going to see them progress probably as we go towards the closing stages of the open ladder. We've also got the Gigabomb dropping a poison in Town Hall 14. We've got the King, Queen, Royal Champion and the Grand Warden all being buffed up by 5 more levels. And those builders, the builder huts that also attack back and they build during the war. Not seeing too much of that impacting just as of yet, but we're going to kick things off with Tribe Gaming versus ATN Attacks and Eve Maxi looking to put the nail in the coffin, D-Man.
Yes, and this is where things actually started to go wrong for Alternate ATAX. This was on Monday. This played out at 3:01 to be precise, if we really want an exact time in there. So it was obviously Eve Maxi, as you say, starting things off on the attack against us. Ordinarily, you'd be looking at it and thinking, well, there's no way you're going to beat Alternate ATAX. It's going to be some sort of big play. But in actual fact, we do see a little bit of differences with Eve Maxi, different use of the pets as well. Obviously, we always have the unicorn with the king. I think that's almost a given these days, as you see the first sort of real attack down the south there. And then, of course, we have the balloons coming in, and it all starts off pretty standard, honestly.
It is a bit of a slow approach to the beginning. You got the King and the Unicorn pushing in from the 6 o'clock side, just opening up things, trying to get a bit of tanking from him as well. And speaking of tanking, here comes the Ice Golem in this bottom compartment with a log launcher, looking to open up this compartment and clear out the Eagle and 2 of these wizards as well and get down an air defense, because we're looking at a Lalo today with 2 Ice Hounds and we've also got 23 Loons for the back end. So what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to pick off the air defenses before we use the Lalo, because that's the thing that's going to damage. Also, you got on the left-hand side of your screen, you got the Royal Champion being popped with Lassie and the Ice Hound coming into this left side compartment scatter shot.
When I saw that log roller down, I thought he's misplaced it. He's put it slightly off, but he hadn't. He was going for that Inferno Tower. That's what he wanted, managing to take that down. Now you can see, we were talking about that the Ice Golem that's in there. There we go. He goes down, freezes out the crossbow. The Yak's now only taking damage from the one, while the Queen has to deal with all of these spawns, obviously, coming out from that Inferno. Now, the Royal Champion, sorry, doesn't get quite enough down here. You can see he wants to get onto that Mega Inferno, but instead, he hits the Tesla instead, doesn't get it down. And at that point, you're thinking, okay, is this attack going to go wrong?
Well, the Queen's popped her ability in this bottom side compartment to get as much value and take out the enemy Queen, but that single target Inferno is still up in that left side compartment. Doesn't matter, he's going to start off with the Grand Warden and the Ice Hound and the Loons to start off this Lalo portion. He's going to have to pop the Grand Warden's Eternal Tome soon because the Giga Inferno is up. Bosh, there you go, he's popped the Eternal Tome, taking out the Town Hall. He's got 8 seconds with the haste to basically keep up these balloons for as long as he can. He's got Eternal Tome now runs out.
He's got 2 freezes still left. He's got so much left that he's actually, I think he's almost spoiled for choice of where to go with this in terms of spells. He just throws down one on the Inferno. So it's like, why not? Why not? I'll just put it down here. I may as well use it. I've got it. And in the end, it looks like a very clean attack. It started off very slow, as you say. We weren't quite sure how it was going, but obviously worked out, used the balloons, pushed up straight along in a pretty much rudimentary fashion in the end. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the downfall of Alternate Atex. Like you say, 2-0-5, that was their first loss of the very first game on Monday morning.
So many clean-up troops left at the end there. Eve Maxi showing why he is one of the tried and tested veterans of the mobile esport that is Clash of Clans. So we're going to be moving on now to MCES, and they're going to be taking on One Hive, and this was Tryhard's attack. It's going to be the next one that was up. But yeah, incredible performance from Eve Maxi, and Tryhard is essentially the vet of MCES as well. He's going to be coming in hard. He's going to bring in a Queen Charge, and we're going to have a Zap Quake. We're going to see it quite shortly, but D-Man, it's really impressive to see these teams still out on top, trying and testing the Town Hall 14 update, and just, you know, managing to stay there and basically tell everyone we're still here and we're here to stay. Yeah,
top of the table clash this one. Obviously MCES, they are in first place right now. One Hive in 6th as well. So 2 teams that really putting the pressure down. But this is something new. Lassie with the Queen. The healer's off to the side there, which is obviously working out well. Now, obviously the bonus of Lassies can jump over the walls, can try and get behind the line, but unlike the Yak that you'd normally see with the Queen, hasn't got the hit points to back it up.
One of the things that you're going to have to keep an eye out for during this attack is look at where the Grand Warden goes. He's obviously picked out a path that he thinks the Grand Warden's going to go, and the Grand Warden's just going to path all the way through the base, and just watch where he deploys the rest of his troops, the rest of his attack, the Super Wizards and the P.E.K.K.A. Smash. They're going to try and basically navigate around this left side of the base and just go all the way around. You'll see it's just absolutely incredible positioning from Tryhard.
Just delayed it that little bit to make sure the healers were on the Queen, so it weren't going to switch across. So it's all sort of very well planned at the moment. Honestly, this is, to me, a beautiful attack from Tryhard. We obviously have had the benefit of watching this earlier on, and I just feel that it plays out so damn well.
Yeah, the Super Wizards get attacked a little bit, take a bit of damage from the Giga Bomb. However, Grand Warden pops his Eternal Tome, drops a Rage, and it's time to send everything through the middle of this base with an amazing jump spell positioned as well.
There's so much coming through, and you can see on the top side as well, the skeletons coming down with the witches as well, and the wizards in there, even a Hog Rider, you know, throwing a Hog Rider in there for the sake of it. But it's just a clean push, literally exercising this counterclockwise, sweep around the base.
P.E.K.K.A's making light work of all the buildings around the outer edge, and it's just the heroes that are putting in so much work. The Unicorn with the Royal Champion is a great choice, basically trying to keep the Royal Champion nice and healthy throughout, but they're all sitting within the Grand Warden's aura, so everyone's being topped off nicely. Going to take out this final single target Inferno to try and kick things off, and then we've basically just got cleanup. We've got a Mortar and we've got a Wizard Tower at the back end. That's going to be absolutely no problem. For the 5 P.E.K.K.As that are still up, alongside the Grand Warden, Royal Champ, and Queen, all fully healed up. Absolutely OP attack from Tryhard there, D-Man.
Interesting use of the Unicorn as well, using it with the Royal Champion instead. Obviously, we were talking off air. You know, the fact is, has to stand still, which often, it's probably the most mobile heroes of them all. So it's an interesting choice. Very different pet usage, which is the great part that we're seeing from Triad there. Obviously, one of the top teams, or the top team at the moment on the ladder. So great to see it's not just a static use. There is no one way to use these pets.
I mean, typically you would like to see the unicorn with the king, because the king tends to be a bit slower, stops for a bit longer, so then they'll get maximized usage out of the unicorn. But I think the Royal Champion is so quick and deals out so much damage, and the use of her Seeking Shield as well, that you want to put the unicorn with her if you've got a slow Grand Warden walk like we just saw. But now we got the Dark Unicorns, the Dark Horses of the ESL Mobile Open, going in with a Super Wizard Blimp, and he's going to drop the Blimp in this compartment on the left side, drop an invisibility spell and a rage spell, and watch the Super Wizards go to work. Look at all of this damage. The chain value from the Super Wizards absolutely dominating this left side of this base. Look how much value he's going to get just from this Blimp and the Super Wizards inside. It's incredible.
The chain attack is just obliterated everything there. Now finally the crossbows will kick off and do their work, but well, damage done, right? That's a big portion of the base down. Now the Queen comes in, Unicorn used the Queen there. So interesting. We were talking about different pet usage. We got one again here. Ordinarily, we'd be looking at the Yak, but obviously without the healers, using that Unicorn to keep the Queen healed. And now the healers come in, but of course they're being spawned a little bit later, perfectly timed.
Queen's going to be pushing in after taking out the Lava Hound and the pups. Delays everything a little bit, but it's not too bad. Drops the poison to assist it, and now we can move forward using Super Wall Breaker to get into this bottom compartment where the scatter shot is as well. The enemy Queen you can see lingering around that left side of the compartment, and the King, so he's probably going to need to drop a rage spell here in order to take out the Queen, the scatter, and the enemy King. This is going to be a lot of work for our Queen to do. And also on the right hand side of your screen you can see the King pushing through with the Yak, using it as a tank, and there goes the rage spell to help keep the Queen topped up. Tripping on my words here, D-Man.
I've got a tongue tie going on, but yeah, the Yak being used perfectly with the King there because it has drawn all the attention. So there we go. There's the Quake going down onto the Town Hall, but the King is taking a lot of damage. Okay, having to pop the spell on him will start to speed him up, and now immediately Town Hall will go down. The poison will come out, but you can see most got out of the way. I think the Royal Champion's going to be the one that will take the most of the damage there, so does manage to avoid it. Meanwhile, don't forget about the Queen. The Queen is still going strong.
Chasso using these invisibility spells extremely well to help the Royal Champion navigate her way through the center of this base. Managed to throw the Seeking Shield and get some damage off on the single target Inferno. The single goes down, and now we have the Queen still pushing through the middle section. She's going to have to worry about this scatter shot a little bit, but don't worry because we got the Grand Warden with a load of loons coming through this base. He's going to pop the Eternal Tome when he feels like necessary, probably around now exactly. Drops the haste so that he can get the cleanup around this outer edge, and this is looking like a dominant triple, D-Man.
Yeah, using that Electro Owl as well with the Grand Warden, just that little bit of chain attack to go with it to help back up the damage to get the buildings down. And you can see with the middle sort of pretty much cleared out, that's keeping the Queen busy, but it doesn't matter because the balloons and the Warden are on cleanup duty, and that will be a 3-star clean as you like from Chasso. 8-0-0 so far for the Dark Unicorns. They sit currently in 3rd place undefeated. However, they're yet to play the likes of Alternate Atex and MCES. They have kind of avoided them so far.
An amazing start so far, like you said. I even spoke to one of the players from Dark Unicorns this week, Wazman, who said that they entered into this competition just to basically try their hand against some of the best in the business, just to see how they could fare against them, maybe get some tips and tricks on the Town Hall 14 update, and they've just been dominating. So now they are fully engaged and fully immersed in this competition and trying to get to the top of that leaderboard, which is amazing to see, which is what it's all about. Getting your players in, getting your team in, competing in the ESL Mobile Open, and seeing how you fare in the open qualifiers against some of the best in the business.
They did play each other in the Meisterschaft as well in the week, which is the German Championship. If you're unaware of what that is, it's the ESL Meisterschaft. They did actually lose, but it was a tied game. So they are very much on par with Alternate Atex, which actually they're above Alternate Atex. Let's face it, they're down at 26th.
Well, D-Man, what's been the biggest surprise or upset for you during this week of ESL Mobile Open matches?
I mean, obviously the Alternate Atex is a given, right? There's no doubt about that one. I think SK Gaming slipping a little bit in Brawl Stars maybe as well. We're starting to see a couple of teams like the free agents guys. They're looking for somebody to hire them. They're currently top of the table in Brawl Stars. Definitely one to look at. And also, I think it's safe to say we're seeing some players exercising quantity over quality in Clash Royale. So big surprises there that it's actually paying off for them.
It really is. Destroyer is creeping up the ladder ever so often, even though he's played 91 matches so far, which is just incredible to see. But best of luck to him. And that concludes the second round of ladder matches and qualifiers across our 5 titles. Asphalt 9, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, and PUBG Mobile will be returning next month. And we're going to be back here to take you through all of the highs and the lows and the best moments. So if you want to keep updated, make sure to put !social in the chat, and that will follow all of our socials so that you can stay up to date with everything that is going on. Thank you so much to my co-host D-Man for bringing the knowledge and bringing the expertise, and thank you so much to the production team at ESL for creating this awesome recap show. My name is Banks, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.